been gone. तेरे बिना मेरा है कौन, मैंने खो दिया तुझे पाके जाने क्यों. 'Cause all that I needed was you. तू ही तू, just you. तू ही तू, just you.
Hi Amal,
How are you, sir?
welcome to Sandeep Audio's channel.
Thank you so much.
You come from a musical family, so there are typical questions we ask others in the interview series as to why didn't you get into music, or
Yeah.
how did you get influence. Obviously it was in the family with your grandfather also being a Bollywood composer.
Yeah, I think
Since the
see,
days.
because at home, like since I've grown up, all these years, it was music was the only thing that has been happening at home. Like my grandfather Sardar Malik ji, uncle Amaal Mallik, and dad Tabu Malik, all are musicians, and I think there was something in the family which only because if you go to see, my family was a 3 generation of composers, where apart from my grandfather, if you see my dad or my uncle, they are not completely, they have not gone and done courses or learned. They are musicians by heart, by soul, feel. So they are composers who can, without instruments and everything, just come up with, maybe that's a God gift. That's something, they just come up with tunes.
Right.
And that's a really great talent. I think I had that in me also, because I think tune making is something which I started doing. I just got a small keyboard, someone gifted me, that's how it started. And I started playing some, as a kid plays, and I think my parents saw that, and they wanted me to learn it in a more professional way, because they hadn't done the proper way. So I think that's how it started. I started training with Tony Pinto and Benny and all these people who are really good pianists, and so I'd come. So I think music is something which just came to me. I never wanted to, force it into composing. Composing is something which happened. I was really, as a kid, I was very much into computers and iPads and this and that. I wanted all those things. So I went into the software side of it, trying to, this VST, that, all that. And then suddenly once I saw lyrics, kept one of dad's old songs, and I recomposed one of his own tunes. And I thought, okay, maybe it could have been made like this. And it sounded good. And I played it to him. So he was also, yeah, you have a composition streak in you. And that's where it all started. I started making own lyrics, scratches and all. So I think composing is something that just came by. I was into the whole zone of being that tech geek, trying to learn programming, this, that. So that's how it happened.
Right. In college, did you form a band, or at school?
Yeah, I think all of us, everyone who's a musician has sometime or the other tried to be a part of a band. I started out in school. I used to play the keyboards for my school. I was from. So by coming to college, I started singing also a bit. So that's when I think my real good time as a band member was when I was in the 11th and 12th. I was in NM college. We were called Virus. I know it's a very boring name, but at that time it was really cool for the college guys. And coming from somewhere, NM, Mitiba and all, they were really enamored by a name called Virus. And we went for we did Umang and this, that and all. But the most prestigious thing which happened to us was going to Malhar, which is a very tough band event, which if you see, all great colleges, great bands from here and there can't perform. And I think that's where I was singing, and these guys I was in the first year or second year of college, like 12th standard, and these guys, my band members, were in SY and third year of degree. And I was the youngest, and we managed to pull off a trophy which in last 15 years NM college had never been able to win.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a big thing, because the whole towny side college never had, someone coming from the suburbs and winning a band event which is completely English.
Right. What kind of songs did you perform in these kind of events?
I think, see, because I used to play keyboards sometimes, and once I became like the singer for my band, I think we went into doing stuff for U2, One. Then we did Coldplay, a lot of Coldplay. We were the good, nice rock band. We never went into death metal and all that. though we wanted to, because I was never trained. I'm not a trained singer, so I used to even like depend on the audience. Whenever like we were at a place in Goa and we thought, these guys might want only English, and suddenly we started hearing requests of Hindi songs. And so, I was the only one in the band was like, that was that desi touch to his, I have the backup of that. And these guys were good with their chords, so they could improvise. So I think we used to sing a lot of these. Rock On had come out, and there was some tum ho to gata hai dil and all those songs. But we had a good share of Coldplay, Fix You, this, that happening. And I think U2 was a good favorite for us. We used to, and new guys, Yellow Card, everything. We used to going from Linkin Park here and there, trying our best at everything.
Great. Of late, what have you been working on? Can you share with us?
I think in the last year, this whole year of 2012-13, I think my first big project was Pansing Tomar, which had the entire background score by Mr. Sandeep Chowta, and I had produced the score with him. So I think that was my first step into doing really big films as background scoring. And I think my first training class also of background score was with Amar Mohile. He was my first person who I assisted. And I think I was there for about 4-5 months, where I learnt my first basics of logic and innuendo and everything. That's
what film was that?
This was Sarkar, the first one, where the background score was really, a big thing, a big part of the film. So I think from there, I never programmed anything for the score, but seeing him programmed, working with live musicians, I learned a lot. And when I came to Pansing Tomar and I started working, so I had all those things with me. And we did Pansing Tomar and all the race sequences. I had done most of the race sequences in the movie, which got really appreciated in a lot of reviews and all. So I was happy. Then Pansing Tomar, then came Rowdy Rathod, then there was Tez, Ajay Devgan's film, and there was Son of Sardar. And I think I did four, then there was Ab Tak Chappan 2, which will be coming. So these were 4-5 films where I collaborated with Sandeep. And I think after that, I was always in regular touch with Salim Sulaiman. And one day Salim Merchant sir just, we met me, and then, I was telling him, I really want, because they are the ones who everyone in this country looks up to for background scores. And I think they've done 70 plus films. So it's like, if you get a chance to work there, any programmer should just, go and do it there. So I met him and I told him, I've done, now I have a lot of films with me, 5-6 films, so I want to do something. And I sent him some work, and one day I just got a call. He's someone who he doesn't have that whole, he's never on that trip, he's very simple. So he just called and said, I have a film I'm doing called Cocktail, where I need some background scoring and I need help. So I would like you to come and work for me. And that's when I left everything and I just packed my studio and ran away to work with him. And I think Cocktail happened, which was a very big point for me in terms of background scoring, because it was a very musical film. There was a lot of songs by Preetham, and we had very less scope of score. There were not too much drama in the film, because Homi Adajan is a very different director. He doesn't keep anything over the top. So I think while working on that score, I think my scene was relatively something which was new for Bollywood, because we did something which was never done before. We did introduce dubstep, we did house, we did electronica on a background score. Usually we have remixes happening like that and everyone's experimenting. But we did frame to frame matching of claps and snaps, everything to a visual, where they pick up Padukone is in the club and she gets slightly drunk and she goes through a bad deep thoughts and all that. That whole section was hard, dark music with dubstep and house and all that. So I think a lot of people who saw the movie also, mentioned to me, and I told them I had done it. They really loved that. So after that, a lot of offers started coming for this kind of music. People like, oh, let's do some house track with you, let's do some dubstep, let's do this. So I think this year it's been about 5-6 really good films, and I worked with Salim Sulaiman, worked with Sandeep. So it's really two good people who I've worked with.
Great. And we also heard that you've done something at the newly launched theme park near Bombay.
This is Adlabs Imagica. I think it is one of the best theme parks I've ever seen here. I've never been to a better theme park in India. And it's first of its kind. It's huge. It's like about 300 acres of land. And I've done 2 rides, very good rides there, which is the Mr. India ride, which is the old Mr. India where Mogambo and Mr. India have a completely new approach with animation and different style. And the entire musical scope for that is orchestral meets electronic and stuff. And I did something called Alibaba, which is different take on music, because for us it's a transcend into Arabic, pure Arabic Persian music. So to move out from the whole commercial cinema zone and go into pure Arabic was a challenge, and I think I did it quite well. I was happy with how it was sounding finally. And so Imagica is something which is very close to me, and it's really turned out good. A lot of people keep saying, Mr. India is a very good ride, and I think there was really a group of really great musicians who have also worked on these rides, which has like Salim Sulaiman sir have also done one ride. So being part of such an illustrious company is a really good thing for me. So I was happy with Imagica.
Congratulations for that.
Thank you.
And why don't we show our viewers something from the ride?
This is the Mr. India ride that I have done for Adlabs Imagica. I'll show you the video, how it was sent to me, and then I will play it back with the music that I composed for the video. So when I was starting on this ride, I think it was a really short-term notice that I got. I was completing Alibaba, one of the other rides for Adlabs, and I got a call from Aarti Shetty ma'am, who's heading this entire project, and she's like, "We just have 3 days, and we have our most important ride, which is Mr. India, which we've bought rights. We've got really all the real actors, Anil Kapoor, Shri Devi to dub." And we need some really good music, and we have no time. You know how things in this line, everything it wants to be the best, but no time is given. So I said, okay, I'll try my best, and I took up the challenge. So she played me some samples of some previous rides which they saw abroad where they liked the music, and I think they were scored by really good prolific Hollywood scorers. And I heard they were looking out for really good orchestral music, and they wanted some, the main impact they could create was with large sound and really good sound effects. So I think I worked really hard on working towards the orchestral feel to it, created a lot of low end and did a lot of big strings and all to it. And there's a coaster sequence which I have just shown. I think that was somewhere they let me do something which I wanted to, and I jumped onto an entire electronic space, and I just moved on, generalized the entire build up till the jump off of the coaster. So I think the brief was more to be big and large, and wherever portions where there was like a fast pace and all, and I asked them, even I fought for my thing, I want to do something cool, which is today. So I got a chance to do that as well. So it was like a good team effort that we came up with.
Great. Why don't we take a look again?
So I think that was the music that I created, and a lot of thought went into, the roller coaster was so fast and there were so many sound effects of the coaster itself. So using something, with low drums and all wouldn't really stand out. So I suggested that we should head into a really different space, which would be catch the pace of a roller coaster, which was about 130, 140 BPM, which would match with the speed of the coaster, I thought. So I went into a complete drum and bass meets electronic and just get a very cool, simple kick build up and take it to the top. And I think the point where it jumps off, I've got a really good riser going up there. So all these things really collaborated together, and they put up a really good show for the entire roller coaster. All the people in the ride, whoever goes to see the ride would love the roller coaster section.
Great. I'm sure a lot of people will dash to Adlabs Imagica after seeing this.
Please go.
And thank you again, Amal, for spending time with us and sharing your journey also.
Thank you so much.
All the best.
Thank you.